Hello, everyone. Actually, that was a Jerry Powell. Hello. Hello, everyone. Let's try that again. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Rational Investors. What is this? This is TRI's Top 100 Crypto Review. Episode 14 now. Hey, man, we're climbing the ladder here of episodes. So. Great to see you. Got the buddies in the house here tonight. We don't have Ben tonight. I think Ben's actually celebrating a birthday, and his parents kindly asked if they could take him out tonight, and we were like, oh, I don't know. He's such an integral part. Derek wants to make him famous with the Ben Koff check, right? So
he's already famous.
There you go. So but we won't have Ben tonight, but we do have Nick and Derek here this evening. How you doing, guys?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good.
Doing great.
Awesome. Lots of volatility, of course, in the corn. Oh, and I've got my camera on, but I don't think we're showing cameras on YouTube, are we? We started off, and actually I've been asking, how should we start these videos off? And I was thinking, I guess it's only appropriate. Ben did go ahead and he created this cool little icon for our little show here tonight. And he created this little app. So if you want to actually access any of the write-ups or any of the charts that we did, like I said, Ben put this really cool little app together, and I think you can access most of what we do. And maybe over time we'll refine it a little bit more, get a little slicker, whatever. But I know people ask if they could have access to our spreadsheet, but I don't really want to give that spreadsheet out to the public because it's got a whole bunch of fun sort of secret sauce inside TRI in there. So anyway, point of the matter here is welcome back to the show. My name is Brian Beamish, by the way, if you didn't know, aka The Rational Investor. We operate off of therationalinvestor.com, TRI. Just a quick pitch for TRI before we get into it too much. I was really impressed with some of the TRI OGers that picked up the ball with our social media of late. And, man, really impressed. One member in particular, Josh, he's such a sweetheart. Look what he's doing. He's bringing it. You gotta follow this feed. If you're going to do nothing else coming out at night, you got to follow this TRI PMA feed. It's so cool, the work that Josh is putting together here. So impressive. And I thought this was funny. He actually polled the Twitterverse. Okay, so can you tell me how many doubles you banged off here lately? And he couldn't believe it. 3,385 doubles from 37 site members. That's crazy. So now we know who's making all the money in the market. Way to go, you crazy traders. Totally awesome. But I wanted to give a special shout out to Josh here tonight. I think he's done a fantastic job with this. Let's see. And actually, interestingly enough, Nick, you're now moving on to the level 2 program, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Actually, we had an interesting illustration of volume profile earlier, so Nick's going to learn lots about that in the weeks ahead. And Derek, I think now you are in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, we got welcome to class with a 300-page document.
Just a nice light read. A nice light read to get you going. So, and the irony of it all is I'm moving right now. So if anything, these guys are really lucky because they actually get like an extra week to study and to get that document read. And frankly speaking, it's awfully difficult when you talk harmonics to people without them having a firm background. Now, the great part about it is everything that we do in harmonics is based off of the levels that you were taught in the level 1 program with the fib tool. So hopefully a lot of those numbers sound awfully familiar. But Derek right now is actually learning how to take trades at very awkward places. And places that don't seem natural. So it's tough subject for Derek to wrap his head around. I'm sure he will. It is a more advanced way to trade, but in essence, you get your head wrapped around harmonic trading, and a whole new world of trade location opportunities open up. So actually, super stoked for Derek going forward. And as I said earlier, Nick actually had a question about volume profile, and the conclusion was, well, wait till you get to that volume profile module, and you will learn, my friend. Haven't done a lot of volume profile work in this particular video series because actually I was working off of the Coinigy site. I liked using these guys in years gone by. Of course, you got to remember what the hell the website is. Forgot the... Oh, there it is. I'm going to put the I in the wrong place. Beg your pardon. There we go. And FYI to the level 1ers, I think that this 3-month trial subscription is still available. I know I did hear in the level 1 program that just started up that some people were still asking whether... I'm sure Will and Rob still have it available. And if anything, that's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to use it, was to just show you that there are different places on the interneting to get your crypto charts. Some sites have specific tools, others don't. But we've worked with Coinigy for a very long time. One thing I do like about Coinigy is very, very robust quote set for crypto. I mean, man, you can get almost any quote anywhere from them. We pretty much got through the whole list, didn't we? Hey, Nick?
Yeah, we did get through the list last week, finally.
So, it's not, I don't think we really have a particular one direction or another we really have to go. If anything, maybe it might be a good idea to use tonight as sort of like, I don't know, open mic, and anybody who has a question on YouTube, you can ask and we can pick it apart and give you our 2 cents. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that. I'm also open to the suggestion from you guys, what you feel like looking at here tonight. So give that some thought. I suppose right off the top, maybe we'll just take a quick boo at our Bitcoin sort of prognostications. Mr. Beamish has been sort of sitting on the fence here for a while. I hate to say it, but I think actually I'm going to have to join the bearish camp here to a certain degree, because I do not like the price action I'm seeing here out of the corn. The only issue here, though, is like that's a 10% drop there. So my sort of neutralness is kind of thinking this along the lines. I suppose if I wanted to capture that 10-15% move, I should have been -1. But nonetheless, I think, and really, I think the easiest way for you to understand this is if we just look at a simple weekly price chart. I'm just going to simply base this off the fact that we just confirmed a weekly 3-bar fractal. A bearish fractal at that too. Also an inside bar failure, suggesting that probably the pressure, if there is any, is to the downside versus the upside. So we'll see how it goes. One good thing about this selling move here is it's coming on extremely light volume. So I'm not thinking we're a crash is imminent kind of idea. But at the same time, too, I'm concerned that Mr. Powell had a speech today, and some of the key takeaways I heard from his speech were that cryptocurrencies is now front and center on the Fed's to-do list. They're still talking about going slowly with this versus a mad rush, so I suppose that's good. But I also did hear talk about they need to get ahead of this curve rather than fall behind. He was directly asked whether he thought that the U.S. was falling behind, and he didn't think so just yet. But definitely heard lots and lots right at the very end of the entire speech today, after his FOMC meeting. We definitely heard him talking quite seriously about cryptocurrencies. And then also, too, sort of broader market, cryptocurrency issues aside, I believe that the U.S. Federal Reserve is getting ready for unwinding their supporting of the long-term interest rate market in the United States of America. I believe that we had a monstrous, like, over-the-top significant event here with this Jupiter-Saturn cross event, which I believe the big event was all through 2020. We had about 3 or 4 different celestial events all kick in there, and then there's a few others that we have to worry about still to come. And I believe that is actually the interest rate cycle. And all of this nonsense about, things like quantitative easing and stuff like that, they had to maintain that same policy of a strong bond market right through that cycle pivot. And ironically enough, I would actually make the argument that interest rates are heading higher now, regardless of what anybody does in the marketplace. Although they have to be perceived as being ahead of the curve. So as the bond market prices are going to be falling, interest rates are going to be rising. There has to be a narrative around there to explain what's going on, and I think they're going to explain it away through, well, we are tapering our bond purchasing program now. That's a great analogy, and it's kind of funny that I started today's video off with the front page of the video is this famous image. Of course, that was J.P. Morgan. And somebody on the site, of course, plugged my face in there. You love when they do those. But J.P. Morgan had a famous line. He said, millionaires don't really respect astrology, but billionaires do. And, of course, he lived back in the day when $1 million was quite a bit of money. And $1 billion, oh boy, that was staggering. I suppose that would be like a trillionaire nowadays. So also too, I think this actually fits nicely with the narrative of the SEC starting to drop the hammer on cryptocurrencies and quote-unquote securities. It was interesting at TRI at the beginning of the week. We did hear quite a few rumors about things like SEC serving subpoenas and lawsuit notices to people in the crypto space, but I think that actually was primarily FUD. Having said that, I do believe the 1-2 punch of Mr. Fed not being overly friendly now to the market, and he basically said today the only way he was going to not taper, i.e., get ready for long-term interest rates to go up. The only way he was not going to do that was if the October employment report was an absolute train wreck. And from what I understand, employment reports are coming in relatively healthy these days. So I think he's setting the market up for, and this has been my theory. I think I've shown you guys before. If you go on the on my personal Twitter page, the Benner chart, we've been passing this around, of course, on the site quite a bit because I think it's important that site people are aware of this. But Mr. Benner, of course, basically told us what was going to happen 200 years ago. But point of the matter here is 2019, and I like the idea 2019 was the top, early 2020. Remember, what was that bimbo's name? Cool Kelly Loeffler and the fucking corrupt insider trading and all of the fucking politicians were short selling the market and shit. I mean, total crony capitalism. I think they were totally caught too. But anyway, what a great anecdote of the top of the stock market. And unfortunately, according to these cycles, we don't really bottom here until about 2023. Has the stock market seen its highs? I don't know, man. There's a lot of really interesting, nasty price action going on. For instance, in Canada, the Canadian real estate market is an absolute joke. And one of the big banks that's promoted the Canadian real estate market, and of course everybody and their brother taking out loans that they probably can't afford. And I was shocked at sort of the demographic makeup of our country now. I mean, it's shocking what's happening. I don't think half of these people have jobs. But that's here nor there. The point of the matter here is you should all, like, maybe we'll start off with Ben here. Or we won't start off with Ben because he's not even here. Why don't we start off with Derek here? What are we supposed to think if we ever see the market smiling at us?
It's headed lower.
Well, at the very least, be damn careful. I mean, there's no guarantees from the management in this game. We all know that. But, oh boy, that looks insanely dangerous. Nick, actually, you'll be doing this in a couple weeks. But let's see if you already know the answer, and you should. But Derek should know the answer.
91.4%.
Yeah, and this is good because it was funny. There was a guy on social media, and he had a whole bunch of minions and stuff, and he would quiz them. Like, for instance, how often do you have to be accurate if you run a 2-to-1 risk-reward model? Do you guys know? It'd be interesting if you guys even know. What is the statistical? You have to be right. If you run a 2-to-1, I'm going to get paid $2 if I'm right, but I'm going to lose $1 if I'm wrong. How often do you have to be right to actually just break even?
Only 33%. Well, 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny bit more than 33%. But.
So it's stunning, and it was great, that video. I think I talked about it on the site. He quizzed everybody, and everybody's like 33, or 34, 34, 34, 34. And he was like, very good, well done. So I do like quizzing you guys, and I like to hear those quick answers because it means that you're learning. So anyway, point of the matter is Nick already anticipated my question. He could see it coming. That's good, you know. If anything, that's also a good sign of a good trader, right? Is that a good trader can kind of anticipate what's coming and can kind of feel like, okay, I can see what's coming next. But the interesting thing is, do you see how the gaps there, Nick, line up almost perfectly with things like reload zones? I mean, you can actually start to see the trade developing, and yeah, that's a cause for concern, folks. No doubt about it. So, you know, this is just one anecdote. So that's Canada. That's not a bullish sign. That's a bearish sign. How about let's go over to Europe? Couldn't believe this when I saw this today. Actually, our TRI CTO comes on the call on Mondays, and he pointed out that Europe is spitting out some kind of candle patterns that we might want to respect here. Can anybody help me? Let's pull YouTube. YouTube cronies here are not allowed to help me. What do we call this crazy ass formation here? That's not a bullish formation. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess nobody over on YouTube wants to answer. You guys want to help me out? Does that look a bit familiar?
Is that a key reversal?
Damn straight.
Is that 3 bars or 2? I can't.
I don't know. It could be 6. Who knows? I mean, the more bars, the better. So clearly, there's something wrong here. And it's called, Bill, it's called a key reversal. And this is actually a concept that you don't find anybody else anywhere in the market teaches. I've never seen it taught anywhere. So you want to learn key reversals, come to TRI. If anything, people are waiting for me to publish this screener that spits these things out. And just so you understand, remember we were just looking at that TD? Oh, lo and behold, look what TD had about a month or two ago. Way back here. Hello. There's your key reversal. That's what actually started the whole damn slide here. You know, the irony of it all, you think this is just the stock market and just stocks? We can actually go take a look at something in cryptocurrencies. There's this funny little stock called Amplified Transformational Data Sharing ETF. What the fuck? Anyway, it's supposed to be a Bitcoin ETF. Anyway, what is that pattern? I mean, do you see the key reversal? I mean, how many candles is that, Nick? 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. Ay caramba, eh? And look what happened. And then, oh, lo and behold, look what happened just about a week or so ago. Ay, ay, ay. So, there's a lot of writing on the walls here, folks. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence that the market is not happy right now at all. And then, like I said there a moment ago, we're thinking that Benner cycle. So I can start to see all the pieces start to come together that 2022, 2023 could be nastier than nasty. The only thing I'll say here, and it's keeping sort of my hope alive, faith alive. Where the hell do we show that? I think I have it over here. Hey, there we go. I still like this idea that we are replicating this 13-14 cycle. It's interesting. You can see the little top that came in here and price did come down. That actually did correct to a 61.8. 61.8s on the corn right now are sitting at about 38,000 and change. It's interesting. Wasn't that? Didn't Willie Woo originally say, "Man, if Bitcoin gets below 40 grand, you gotta buy. We're getting ready for the crazy year-end rally." Wasn't it something like that? I seem to remember him saying that.
Probably. Last thing I remember was when he was saying the 53 was the floor for Bitcoin now.
Whoops. All right. Well,
but I mean, a lot of what he said has been pretty good.
Yeah, well, he's guaranteed everybody $250 million on the Bitcoin by the end of the year, right? I mean, that's the guarantee that I got in the mail from him.
I assume you meant 1,000, not million?
I don't know. Does it matter anymore? A billion.
Probably not.
Well, I got to say, the hardest thing tonight seems to be to get Derek to smile, though. Jeez, he's tough. Look at that. No smiles out of him at all.
I'm smiling. I think my camera's in a bad position, so you can't.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, as you can sort of tell, I like to have fun at this. And, well, we only got like 20 people watching. Who cares? It's not really that big of a deal. So, there's your backdrop. I get the impression, not a friendly Fed. I get the impression the stock market's kind of running out of juju. I do understand that the economic data is supposed to be just insanely over the top, strong into the end of the year. I do get the distinct impression the Fed is getting ready to unwind all this sort of free, low interest rate environment. So the only question is, and actually Nick asked this before we got the video going, what the hell's going to cause this? And honestly, my answer to him is, I haven't got a fucking clue. Ironically enough, I actually think it's not in our best interest to predict the future. So don't assume something like this is going to happen. It's kind of cool how 13, 14, very similar cycle behavior. And also the Glassnode people, they're all super jazzed about, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollar Bitcoin. I do like the idea that, this could develop any number of ways. It could develop like there's a lack of confidence in the US dollar. Bitcoin doesn't really go up that much in Bitcoin terms, but because the US dollar is collapsing and nobody wants to use the fiat currency system anymore, that precipitates the runaway bull market, and price inflation, stock market goes parabolic up, bond market maybe starts collapsing in earnest. Who knows? Actually, I guess that wouldn't be happening. Also too, and we were kind of talking about, don't want to get too far off on this tangent, but the sickness is still very much in play. Powell even said that the sickness was still very much in play and a key consideration. And if I understand correctly, now there's even potentially strains of this sickness that are immune to the vaccinations that have been done. So if that's the case, that might be the catalyst that tips us over the edge. We might find that it just is purely a function of just absolutely runaway price inflation. Because the economic data is just coming out so insanely strong and the market is just overheating, and it just, the whole damn U.S. dollar system starts to crumble because they've just lost control. Keep in mind, the Fed literally has their foot on the gas pedal with regard to interest rates. You cannot get any more accommodative. At some point, the economy is going to go, wow, rock and roll. And the data's been pretty darn strong. There's also the variable here that Mr. Gessler comes along and does something like he outlaws stable coins. And there's like some sort of mad rush into Bitcoin and out of everything else. Out of all these tethers and USDCs and USDTs and USDBs and all that. I actually don't think it's going to be an outlaw. What I think will happen is they're going to say, we deem this stable coin acceptable and all others are illegal. And I have a funny feeling it's not going to be Tether. But does that cause some sort of massive tsunami move into the corn and out of all these stable coins? Definitely a possibility. Then, of course, we got DeFi, and, what the hell's the damn variable there? Is it even possible to slow down DeFi now? I don't even know if it is, but, Mr. Roosevelt basically brought the whole gold bull market to a grinding halt in 1932 very quickly. So, if the U.S. government did it before, what the hell's the difference between Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Joe Biden? Remember, Joe Biden's working class guy. If he figures that his dad and his family working in the mills there in Delaware, if their jobs are in jeopardy, and it would help if legislation was passed to make U.S. dollar king and outlaw cryptocurrencies as an alternative, I think Joe would do it. So you can't say there isn't a dearth of reasons that are potentially floating out there. I don't think you can say that for a moment. Exactly which one it is that causes this kind of scenario, I haven't got a fucking clue. I will say that if this scenario does play out, I will be selling into this rally, which would be a typical 4-year cycle peak rally on the corn. I've seen this now 3 times. This will be my 3rd go. And as I said to you all, fingers crossed, I'd like to actually be able to buy my son with my crypto holdings home so that he doesn't have to worry about any government supports for the rest of his days. So I think if anything, it's wishful thinking on my part. It's a bit hopium. But it's a noble cause, and I think I could justify what I do if I do pull the trigger and basically take profits in here, and I do make a pile of money and I pay my tax for capital gains taxes and all that shit, right? But I think it's for a worthy cause from my perspective. Also, too, this is sort of a side thing, but I did originally do this sort of crypto review show to try and help us get going on the Decentraland booth. And actually, I'd like to have these kind of shows just running 24/7 in Decentraland. Anybody can walk into our booth and just sit down and just watch Brian blabbing away to Nick and Derek and Ben and we used to have on Alex Stirk and Da Vinci. Remember, he used to be on these shows. I don't know whether you guys remember that or not. And Will and stuff, and just have these shows just constantly running 24/7. Because the irony of it all is that we could be looking at a chart from 5 years ago. We could do the exact same analysis. Nothing really changes in what we do. So that was the goal for this project. I did see that a couple people did make contributions. And I've put the contribution address if you do get some value out of this. I put the contribution address right in the show here. So by all means, you can actually watch what happens with any funds that go through there. And I was really cool because I did recently reach out on Twitter and I asked if somebody who's like really, really smart in this space, because remember, I'm not that smart. I do know that those damn coin pusher video games, people will literally sit and watch those damn coin pusher video games for hours on YouTube. I mean, the people, all they do is they just go to like Jersey or whatever, and they sit in front of the fucking coin pushers for like 2 or 3 hours. They record the game, and they get like 1 million views on their videos. It's crazy. I mean, talk about the easiest money you ever made. Well, I'd like to put one of these coin pusher games and have like, all of Brian's crazy NFTs. We can make them tokens. We can make a Nick token in there. We could have a Derek token. We could have a Benkoff token in there. All of the TRI OGers, the whole shooting match. And then the way that you would request a video that you want to see out of this sort of jukebox is you use the token. So then that way it becomes sort of a reinforcing use system. So, and then, we might even have like a Bitcoin token in there, right? So if you win, you win the Bitcoin. Woo, way to go. So this is sort of my ultimate dream of what was supposed to come out of this. And I was really impressed. There was a couple of people that actually reached out to me and said, Brian, I'll work with you. And I think they're calling it the metaverse now. So they're actually trying to get rid of the Decentraland token, and they're just trying to congeal this into just one term that I think is homogeneous. And what you might end up see happening is metaverses actually start connecting with each other, and you get sort of like highways between metaverses and stuff, and you could like literally live in these metaverses and travel all over the world. That wouldn't surprise me as sort of an end game. Anyway, so if you do find value in these shows and you like what I do, rant, there's the contribution address. Every penny helps to get that thing off the ground. Okay, wow, that was a mouthful. As for TRI itself, I'm actually pretty pleased to see the progress. Developers, we've been spending a lot of time trying to develop this website and get it to the point. Question is, where the hell do I have that screen? Get it to the point where it's not just Brian sitting there going, oh, I think this is going to happen, or I think that's going to happen. Or, you get a whole bunch of people that are like, circle jerking over the latest issue. I really wanted this website to actually give you actionable information. But, of course, you better pay for your subscription. Shit. Am I subscribed? Maybe Stuart's gonna kick me out. You deadbeat, get off the goddamn site. So Stuart's been working away like a dog, and he's recalculating the whole damn thing. But great, awesome to see. Keep on going, Stuart. We have faith in you. What I really did like to see recently was, the signaling system's kicking butt. It was interesting. We got some pretty nasty, ugly bear key reversals on. Look at this. Isn't that interesting? So all Africa index, Dow Jones Turkey Titans 20, DGB Group, Euro BAM, iShares V, whatever the fuck that is. Core MSU EMU UCITS ETF. Jesus Christ, I can't even say that. So the point being that, remember I had said earlier, we had a bunch of nasty reversal failures. Look at this. Remember I showed you that Dutch index there earlier, right? Euro Stock 50, key reversal. iShares Stock Europe 50, key reversal. AEX. There's the AEX. Okay, good. Awesome. So the system did pick it up. That's fucking killer. Excellent. And then, oh, by the way, and just to show you, we're not bullshitting you. Back, and it was a while ago. God, I don't even know when the hell it was. It was so long ago. We should probably look at the chart. But anyway, the TD Bank was on here, and actually both TD and National. So it was a really good signal. Look at this. We're even getting like commodity signals here. Oh my god, this is incredible. This is so cool. Gotta say, man. Over the top. So, no doubt about it. I'm super stoked for TRI and for Sjord. We just got to get the dashboard and the breadth indicators firing, and this thing will be ready to go. So anyway, don't want to tease you too much more about that. I was teasing everybody about that TD Bank all through the summer, and I was saying, okay, do you want to subscribe? And they're like, yes, yes, yes. And then, of course, I had to say, sorry, got to wait for it, which wasn't really too nice of me. Okay, so TRI's recent school term just started. So, of course, welcome to all new students. And Ben actually just joined the level 1 course, so super stoked that he decided to join the level 1. Nick is on the level 2 now. So actually it'd be really cool over the next few months to sort of get his feedback about the new candy he's learning about. And as I said, I don't know whether I said it, but I know when I was talking earlier before I was recording, I was talking about Derek is now in the level 3 program with me. And he's busy learning about harmonic setups right now. So there's your backdrop. Jesus, about a half an hour I wasted there. Sorry, everyone. Hopefully you get a pretty good idea what I'm expecting, but the problem here is, I mean, wow, is this going to be absolute chaos? Oh goodness, it's tough. It's gonna be a very interesting slog. Oh, and by the way, China may blow up while we're at it. Who knows? So, maybe there's this. I mean, hell, the way that the West has been interacting with China lately, we might be at war with these people here relatively soon. Who knows? So, there's always that card on the table. So, with all that said, what the hell should we look at tonight? We got about 20, 30 people on the YouTube page. So, if anything, you get a 30-year veteran, all to your own tonight. What do you want to look at? Crickets? All right, that's always a good start. Any suggestions? Should we do the forecast? So I'm actually thinking down, and I sort of explained that I was thinking bear fractal fired, so I'm bearish now. Who's this? Is this Derek? No,
That's me.
Oh, okay, that's Nick. Nick is neutral. All right.
I think we might have a little bit of a recovery before we go down further. So it'll just depend if it happens this week or next week.
You want to put a bullish vote in there then?
I'm going to put a 0 just because I can't tell if... I'm just going to put a 0. I think we'll be flat.
Okay. And Derek is feeling negative.
Yeah, I'm going with a negative. I feel like it's just too much going on right now. It's too much going on in the world, too much going on within the U.S. Like I think we'll probably be a little bit lower next week.
Okay. No guarantees from the management. Just asking opinions. So we'll see how we do next week, and Ben will laugh at us, especially if the market rallies.
He usually does.
Okay. So, there's a bunch of requests over there on YouTube. ETH, Algorand, ASX, XRP, Algorand. Ooh, 2 requests for, same guy.
I was going to say it was technically the same person.
But, you guys probably have first say. Is there anything in particular you would like to look at here while you got me here tonight? Either of you, Nick or Derek?
No, I mean, all the coins I want, I already know aren't in areas where I want to be buying, so.
That's good. And if anything, that's good because that means that I've already taught them and they already know trade locations. So it's like, man, why bother asking? I know what he's going to say. Yeah. So that's good.
I don't know, Derek, do you want anything?
No, I mean, we can start with probably the YouTube requests, and then if something else maybe pops up out of the greens that we were maybe looking at before, or some ones we thought were maybe strong. Right. Go back and look at 1 or 2 of those or something like that, see how it's doing,
or how it played out. How it played out. Uppy. Okay. So
sounds like Algorand may be a good place to.
Well, maybe I'll just hit the top of the list and we'll just work our way down. So the first one there was we'll get rid of Algorand first. Algorand pisses me off because I was long a shitload of this and banging out doubles and the whole damn thing. Building bags forever. And then I primarily used Trex. And not really the biggest fan. Frankly speaking, I'm not really the biggest fan of any of these cryptocurrency exchanges. I had a nice account on Cryptopia. Poof, gone. Stewart had an account on MintPal, poof, gone. I had an account on Cryptsy, poof, gone. So, not really... Frankly speaking, like, I took the profits that I wanted to out of crypto, and I was actually surprised Trex even survived, to be honest with you. So, but Trex pulled a fast one with this algo. They delisted it. They said that they, one reason or another, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know how the story goes with Trex and their delistings. I think it's just somebody who just arbitrarily makes the decision on their own. And then what really pisses me off is I move the coins off of there onto Binance. Then Binance, one of the provinces in my country, kind of outlawed residents in that province to actually work on Binance. So I asked Stewart just to liquidate the Binance account, just get it out of there and clean everything out. So, and then I go back to Trex, and lo and behold, fucking Trex relisted the cocksucking son of a bitch. So, I was pretty pissed off at Trex. They've done this a few times. In fact, they're doing their games with a coin that we used to have a lot of fun with, XDN, Quacker. And they're up to their same stupid games. I don't know what the end story of all of this is, but if anything, stunningly immature, stunningly amateur. One of the reasons why you call this sort of like, venture cap, highest speculation, total wild, wild west. Don't play this market with money you can't afford to lose, because these fuckers will fuck you anytime they can fucking fuck you. Just understand that, people. This is money. I suppose you could argue that's half the reason why this DeFi shit started to get going, and people were like, enough of these damn centralized exchanges. So, unfortunately, I'm kind of bitter about this Algorand story, and you probably hear it. I really shouldn't swear so much, but it's stuff like this that really makes me angry. And if anything, people say, oh no, crypto's going to go mainstream, crypto's grown up, crypto's responsible, and you see this kind of behavior, and you go, no, Gessler's going to come along, and he's going to fucking shit all over you, and you deserve it. So, anyway, it is what it is. Technically speaking, I think this is pretty cliche what happened here. Don't get a hell of a lot of data here, but if you ever see a price chart like this, understand that wick and that tail basically define the whole trading range. Gonna see resistance up against the top end, you're gonna see support against the bottom end. So in a weird sort of way, right out of the gate, they've actually told you exactly what the trading range was on this. We saw this actually, I can't remember, I think it was one of the bigger names. They actually did a 2-bar pattern like this. And I was like, wow, whichever way we break out of this thing, if it holds, look out. But while we're in this range, expect the ping pong. I don't know would it be better to go over to Binance and look at this? Keep in mind, Trex, this used to be listed on Trex over here. And then they just mysteriously decided to delist it. And then all of a sudden they decide to relist it. I mean, it just angers me to no end.
When we did the chart a while ago, you did, it was Algo USD on Coinbase.
On Coinbase?
Yeah, that's the chart that you have in the...
Yeah, there we go. So, and you can see why I'm so angry about having to sell this on Binance. I mean, fucking hey, look at that chart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want to see. Algorand mentioned banned. Nobody ever mentioned Algorand ever again. You want to piss the old man off? All right, just mention Algorand. There's a couple others that Trex that did this to me too. Because look at this chart. It's so pretty. It's like textbook. And I think I actually banged out some doubles on this kind of move here. I'm proud of myself. I mean, you should see the W's. This isn't rocket science. And then, of course, what the hell is this level? Derek? I don't want to type it. Mr. NFT?
I was half paying attention. I was looking at the chart on another chart. Point to what you're talking about again.
All right. You're out of here, man. I don't know.
I missed it.
Anyway, so that is our classic illustration of a Wyckoff check, where basically we had the most beautiful W pattern. The market broke out, came back. It tested the breakout level on like 3 different occasions. It held, and it started to turn back up. So you could actually make the argument that even just off of here, lo and behold, all of these tests where the market just coming right back down into the damn reload zone, right? All through here. So didn't set up really the best sort of re-entry level. But, if you said 3 reasons for a trade, reload zone, Benkoff check, and, this got a hell of an uptrend. I mean, geez, this floor here, that's the definition of a brick floor. Brick floor? What do you say? A solid floor. I mean, that is a serious floor in price, especially if it goes over like a couple years. So, I mean, I don't know. You want to try and accumulate in here. And then, like I said, the Ontario government came out, I think through here, and said, all right, Canadians, if you live in Ontario, you got to get the hell out off of Binance. We're about to shit on them. I live in BC. BC usually follow suit with Ontario. So I told Siord, look, I don't want to take any chance with any regulators or anything. So just liquidate the Binance account, just get us out of there. And so he did. And then lo and behold, look what happened.
Yeah, you would have gotten a double off of the previous draw. The draw that you had.
Well, look at that beautiful. Look at that W down in there, eh? Ay. Actually, yeah. So, what does our little sheet look like?
So if you would have taken from back in July, we were originally talking about it. You would have got a double off of. We were somewhere around like 86 cents or something like that.
Were we bullish?
That was one of our green.
Yeah.
Marks.
Isn't that funny? That's basically exactly what we thought was going to happen, eh?
Yeah.
So there's the turn. If you bought in here and then away you go to the upside, it turns out it held these lows, eh? So were we actually bullish of this or just sort of neutral?
I mean, it was for that week. It was a green, so I think we were. Unless you guys changed that. Was that green for that week?
So all those green ones just kind of showed up this week, I think. But,
I think somebody got on this thing and just started messing around with it.
Maybe.
Really
I think we did like the fundamentals around algo, but we didn't necessarily have enough to be able to say, yeah, this is going to be a good trade because it hadn't come in yet, obviously.
I think if you'd just taken this double bottom kind of we were thinking here, you would have been a happy camper, eh? And so the end result was that W right in there. And woohoo! What a move, eh?
That was on the announcement of a $400 million incentive program.
The sad thing is we've been talking about this thing forever. I've been in this story forever. And every time I ever talk to anybody about the development story, they love this story. So it's not really like the people in the crypto space shit on it. It's these damn exchanges fucked me over. And that's what makes me so angry.
Yeah, they've got some really, really bright people working on it for sure.
Nice little ABCD. So not a big surprise that we stalled out up in this area. That's pretty cliche. In fact, Derek, what do we call this area now? No, what do you have to call this area? Let's see if he's been in any study.
With the PRZ?
Yeah, very good. So this actually becomes a trade location for Derek now. But you beginners, don't get into that because this is very high octane trading. But anyway, point of the matter here is looks like she did fail at the PRZ. First objective we probably want is, what do we say? Oh, yeah, okay, so here's a good example. 38.2. first stop target. You can see the market basically slammed down into that, rallied back up, then actually failed through there. So that's it. It's an awkward M top, but it is ME. And what it really looks like to me is this is like AB, and then that doji itself, CD. So, boom, nailed that. Another PRZ, ironically enough, probably like you go down to like an hourly. Yep, there it is. Boom, 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 boom. Interesting too, this actually would, I think, be a trade setup for me. In that, the market coming up here, PRZ, overbought, looking for the failure. Market rolls over. Boom. Of course, I always do it backwards. Whoops. 33, no more than 66. So then I start to get one high, two highs, three highs, four highs. If I get any, and you can see there's actually a really, what do we say if we ever see the market smiling at us, guys? I don't know whether I asked you on the air or not earlier tonight.
We were going to say be cautious, but that's only if you want to be long.
Yeah, if you want to be short, get excited, eh? Yeah, good point. Anyway, you can see lots of smileys. So, thinking lower is not really... it's not really unrealistic here. It's un-American, but it's not unrealistic. So, bought, trade, boom. Oh, look at that. So, interesting how that double top, the failure, there's the 25, so it zipped through there. Look at that cool little inverted head and shoulders, which ironically enough, this little inverted head and shoulders actually, I think, projected the high. So there to there, and there to there. Yep, right up into there. This is a really good application of that head and shoulders concept to set up another trade. So there, to there, to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. You draw your distance from the neckline to the head and then project that off of the neckline, and that gives you your upside objective. What do you think? Is that a half decent level? Looks like to me that was a pretty good level. Doink, hit. Then look at the fight here, and this is cool because this is actually like a clothesline fail. Mind you, that's a funny wick, right? Because this actually went all the way up here. It didn't really set up very well. I suppose there's a really cool little 3-bar fractal right there that fired. Even a 5-bar fractal that fired right there. If a trader's got a trade, if you saw this and you also saw that this thing went zooming up ridiculously high, and you were thinking the market needed to come down to reload zones anyway, 50% rule. In fact, actually, this is the technical, this is one of the first technical analysis rules I ever learned, was the 50% rule. But hopefully you guys can see this is how it's so powerful, and this is a WD GAN kind of thinking. Actually, yeah, you're going to have WD GAN out the butt here over the next few months, Nick, so get ready. Probably you should start reading, if you haven't already, The Secret to My Forecasting Method. That's a tough read.
I told you last week I'd get through it, and I did get through it.
Oh, good! Congratulations. Was it a tough read?
Honestly, the toughest part about it is that like a lot of the charts are kind of faded, so it's tough to actually read the price action on the charts. I think that was actually the worst part for me.
But congratulations, Derek. What did you think reading Mr. Gann's work?
It was tough for me. I read and reread it.
It was tough for me too. I still don't understand half of it. So congratulations, Nick. You're smarty smart.
Yeah, I still need to go back and take some more notes, but yeah, I want to play with it. I think I like them.
Point here is that 50% roll, right? That's WD GAN bread and butter. So if you're thinking up here, okay, I got, market probably should come down here, reload zones. Wicks and tails like to eat and beat. And then didn't we say something about gaps earlier on today? But I don't think I see any gaps here. Actually, this looks pretty clean, so that's good. Yeah, it's not bad. Looks like there might be a little gap right there. No? Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's pretty smooth. Even that's actually not even a gap. Notice, see how, look at that, they gapped it, and then boom, they bring it right down. Gapped it, boom, we'll bring it right back up to fill those gaps. But I don't see any on the way up here, so that's actually encouraging. But they usually say wicks and tails like to be eaten, so that tail right there looks a little suspicious. But nonetheless, if you were thinking, okay, we're going to work our way down, we had beautiful head and shoulders that showed exhaustion right up against an original market structure top. New M comes in right off that 25 line. Boosh. Move stop to scratch at the 50 level. Boom. Move stop to trailing once we hit this 66 level. So you can see instantly the market ratcheted right back. So I would have moved my stop to just above there as we make new low here. And then you can just work your way down. You know, you should have your open order working at the bot objective, and ding, 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 you get yourself a fill right here. Fascinating how that's in it. Like I said earlier, for Derek, he's learning that this actually is a trade location now going back up. All right, what do we call that again, Derek?
PRZ.
Yeah. So, in an interesting way, I don't know whether you guys have heard me say this before, but can you see how I think they set up the long trade here? If I go reload zone, boom. Hey, look at that. 88.6, that's a Kavarkanator level. Remember I showed you guys that insane Bitcoin buy that Kevin did on the 88.6 in the winter of, when the hell was that? It was like...
That was March 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, March 2020. Kevin just did the most incredible trade. And it was basically right off 88.6. Do I say anything about this? When you see this right here, is anything that the Beamish nutso idiot guy barks about that you maybe should sort of think of it as another reason to justify taking a trade?
You want me to go, Derek, or you?
Anyone, I don't care. Actually, Derek, let's see. What does this sound familiar?
Are you talking about were you talking about the bodies for trade location?
Yeah.
I forget what the saying is, but it's like candle body lows, I think, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that's it. Candle body lows or trade location. And I mean, look at that level. I mean, if you went in and bought, you took some heat on this candle. It didn't break the low, but I mean, you look like a genius. You want to get really, really fancy schmancy. Let the dump into that level, candle body lows hold, and then let the counter trend rally happen, and then hunt a reload zone off of that range. Oh my God. You see how cool that is? I mean, that's the definition of patience and discipline as a trader. And oh, by the way, look at those goddamn candle body lows again. Killer level. Killer, killer, killer level. Right there. Absolutely killer. But, you know, I mean, we're not all rock star traders. I'm not going to say that's easy to do. I would say I do really like the idea of this bot short and coming in and taking profits at that 50% level. That's solid. That's like working group. No, that's not the word. Working man's bread and butter kind of trade. Traders got to trade. What do they call that? Journeyman? I think you call that a journeyman trade. Right down into this technical objective, this nice bearish setup, into this PRZ, and then if you want to get hunting longs, Derek and his level 3 advanced class, that's a killer level there. So. What do you do now? Unfortunately, you know, this is where we kind of get into like no man's land conversation. I mean, ideally now, especially since this ABC is done, I have to be thinking about counter trend rallies back up top here into sort of acceptable shorting locations. So that would mean something like that. And now we can say Derek's. All right? Is that how I spell your name? D-E-R-E-K?
Yeah.
PRZ. So into Derek's PRZ here. Reversal. Kind of like what we just talked about there a moment ago. Reload zones within reload zones, setting up trade location. Can you see how this was the original PRZ? This is basically a potential reversal zone, and indeed it reversed. So can you see how the propensity or the odds for this thing to rally up into here and then maybe roll over and then head down? They're pretty high. You know, I mean, that would be basically, in fact, you're probably going to get like a candle that stabs right up into your ABCD level. And those real pro traders are actually hitting that a second time. That wouldn't surprise me. There's somebody that I was talking to that was trading these harmonics. We got a bunch of guys on the site that trade harmonics too. So if you do like this kind of trading, Derek, oh boy. Got to introduce you to Steven and Igor and Raf and Bobo and the whole gang. And actually, Hafed's turning into quite a harmonics trader. So, point, I guess, here now is, even if we just look at this range, there was 50% rule. But, you know, like conservative, remember, Brian's a chicken shit by nature. I like to buy at the bottom end of ranges. So if that's the case, then really I want to be buying down here. Remember I said there a little while ago, wicks and tails like to be eaten? Like, look at the size of that tail, eh? So right in the middle of a big fat reload zone. That's probably even like the midpoint, right? The sweet spot, we call it. You know, when I used to teach tennis, and what we used to say to people when you play tennis is... you can hit the ball here. You can hit the ball here, but you know, quite often you just don't know where the hell the damn ball is going to go. If you hit the ball on the rim, but if you can somehow hit the ball right in the middle of the tennis racket, right? We call that the sweet spot of the tennis racket. Then odds are that the ball is probably going to go where you want it to go. If you can hit the ball right in the middle of the racket. So that's why they call it the sweet spot. Same sort of thing in cricket. The bat kind of looks very similar. Same thing with baseball. Bat's a little bit thinner in baseball, but the general idea, you know, even with the baseball bat, you hit the ball right in the middle of the bat, it's going out of the park. You hit it off the top, it's probably a pop-up. Hit it off the bottom, it's ground ball, you're out. So, point of the matter here is you can use this exact same logic with fibs and this reload zone, where quite often, especially in the futures trading, this is such a wide range, eh? I mean, this could be like, you know, this could be like $1,000 apart. So what's a new trader supposed to do? Well, why don't we break that range in half and work our order right in the middle of that range, i.e. what we call the sweet spot. Do you guys remember that from level 1? I don't know if you remember that level 1. Well, Kevin, it's not actually a fib. There is no 70.2 fib. That just doesn't exist. But it is the middle of two very important fibs. See, Kevin over there on YouTube said something, so that's why I responded to him. Was that worth taking a moment to talk about? I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. So
I feel like almost every concept you go over is definitely worth talking about.
I love doing this show with these guys. They kiss my ass so much. It's beautiful.
No, I mean, talking about the sweet spot is probably much more actionable.
Dude, you can kiss my ass all day long. That's cool. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it, Nick. You will never not be invited to this show if you just keep acting that way.
Okay, well, that's easy. I've had a lot of practice with my wife, so.
You what? What was that? Oh,
I've
no.
had a lot of practice with my wife.
There
so.
you go. Happy wife, happy life. You know how the game goes. And frankly speaking, dude, I could actually see. I mean, I don't know, Derek, how far you want to go with this, but I could definitely see, Nick, if you want to become an integral part of TRI, I could very easily see you getting settled in really nicely in this community. But
Well, I'm having fun at least so far.
good, excellent. And as I said, you can kiss my ass all you want. Love it. More
Deal.
than happy to listen to that. All right, moving on. So red boxes are selling windows. Green boxes are buying windows. I kind of like to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I can't buy this damn thing anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. But if I was going to buy it, I think I'd be working down here. And actually, it's back on Trex. So maybe what I'll do as revenge is I'll work some stink bids right down here, right against the bottom end of the range. Wait till the middle of 2022, 2023. I'll get my fills back, and then I've got my Algorand back. But as it stands right now, does it kind of make sense that we're kind of in no man's land right now? This is actually really dangerous. It could go easily either way. And do we take bets that are kind of like just a coin toss, 50-50, might go up, might go down? Should we take those kind of bets?
Nope.
Yeah. Keep in mind, it's hard, this game is hard enough as it is. We might as well try and put ourselves in a position that, like, you see this W down here. If you bought this W here, I would actually say the statistical odds of this trade working down here, way down at the bottom end of the range, well, actually it's not really the bottom, but breaking out, especially after a nice trend line breakout here. You guys have seen me through the summer talk about these trend lines. And what's our rule about trading with trend lines? Anyone?
You want to wait for the other side to the...
Yeah.
Wait for the break of the other side to get a W.
Yeah, you just want some sort of structure on the other side of this trend line. Don't take this here. I mean, it turns out this worked out okay. But notice, right, it broke out of the trend line, then it came all the way right back. Actually, almost broke those lows, eh? But anywhere over here, perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. Then, of course, big honking W's. Brian, I'm just going to buy this W and risk against these lows. Okay, that's not the end of the world. So, I don't mind that so much. But here now, this is like literally, this is an hourly chart. Why don't we go and look at the daily chart? Sorry, guys. That was kind of not very nice of me. Ooh, yuck. Oh, boy, that's even worse. Yeah. Now, the way I look at this is I like that short. I like the bot for the, the swing traders. Came into a profit objective. This, to me, looks like no man's land. You could very easily, heads I win, tails you lose. We could very easily go either direction. Ironically enough, about almost exactly equal direction. And it's impossible to tell which one's going to happen. So, if I wanted to buy here, believe it or not, actually, I'd love to see something like this, right? Where you get your momentum indicators and stuff. They do not make a new low on this move to new lows. They start turning up on this push here. So your momentum indicators go into bullish divergence on that event right there. And then you take this W way over here, and that's the money trade. But here, hell, you can even do this on volume. I don't see really either camp to get too excited, and we're kind of caught in no man's land right now. So there's not really much for a guy like me to do here. It's kind of cool how, though, there's not really much for a guy like me to do. We're in no man's land, nothing really to do here, and yet I could still waste, about a half hour, 45 minutes talking about this. That's kind of cool, eh?
Well, you did say how you could make money going up, down, and back up potentially on the hourly at least. So
Yeah. So
Well, you did go down to hourly to find the trade. So I mean,
that's right. I mean,
I'm a daily kind of guy. I'm not gonna.
Well, so that's just it,
out.
right? I mean, do you like to sleep?
Right.
If you don't like to sleep, this is crypto. This is so crypto. This is perfect crypto. Because these trades all happen all the time, but what happens? It's about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when it'll come in, and you better be sharp. So if you want to play that lower time frame, hourly swing trader, kind of like a semi-day trader kind of thing, there's probably trades. I mean, hell, there was this head and shoulders. You could have taken that, bang, taken your profit here, and that's like a total counter trend rally trade, right? So. You're right. Good point. But at the same time, too, most of our audience, they like to sleep. So we probably ought to stick to these higher time frame charts. So you like that one, Derek? Hey, I put a smile on Derek's face. That's a good sign. Yeah, good. All right. How's the kids?
Doing well. Finally got them to bed on time tonight, so that's why.
All right. Good. And actually, I didn't even get you guys to represent because actually Nick's not going to be representing the great state of New Mexico for much longer, is he?
Not too much longer. Another probably 2-3 months.
Oh, okay. So into the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
You're going to relocate in the middle of winter?
Yeah, don't really have a choice.
Ay, caramba. Ay. All right. Well, have fun with that.
Yeah.
I heard Minnesota gets a bit cold in the wintertime. Can you confirm
that? No, I mean, it'll get down to -40 where Celsius equals Fahrenheit, but you don't need to ask which one. But.
And how's the great state of Maryland doing?
Wonderful. Never gets that cold, so I'm good to go here. It's like the coldest it gets is maybe 30, maybe mid-20s, I guess, low 20s maybe.
My grandmother used to live in Annapolis. Actually, I remember in 1975. I think I told you I was actually in a tornado that ripped through Annapolis. I don't know. Maybe go look in the history books and find out when that was.
Yeah, you mentioned that one time. I remember there was a bad one here, like I know we got a good part of a hurricane in the 90s, which came through pretty
This was definitely in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, I remember because my sister, she was running down the street and the wind had got a hold of her. And she was just having a great old time, but my parents were just freaked right out, of course. So, anyway, childhood memories. Okay, so hearing that the people of the great state of Maryland are doing well tonight. Sure hope so. All right, where should we go next? I don't know. How are you guys doing over there on YouTube? You having fun? Bill, I don't really use quote-unquote hidden divergences very much. I don't really like that concept. I've never seen it actually set up a trade. If you can show me how to use the hidden divergence, I have a very set cadence that goes, let price go into trade location, because location is the most important thing in a trade as far as I'm concerned. Then hunt for signs of confirmed divergence, i.e. confirmation that the indicators are showing W's, the W's have confirmed, i.e. the asset is actually much stronger than what the price, making new lows, if you're thinking long, is leading you to believe. So that's, and then finally, like I showed you there a second ago, did I get rid of the chart? I guess I did. I want to see price structure to help me frame the risk on the trade. So I have yet to ever see anybody demonstrate to me how I'm going to use hidden divergences in that process. You can show me, then I'll be more than happy to take a look. All right. So what do we got here? We got anything in particular you guys want to take a look at here?
I'm good. I did write down kind of all the ones above in order, so I can spit those out for you at any time.
All right. We'll see how we do. Probably get through maybe one or two, but I'll try my best. Maybe you know what? Why don't we put a lightning round? After 5 minutes, if I go on the internet and find just the sound of a bell, right? And you can just do it, doing, And after 5 minutes, we have no choice. We have to move on to the next one.
I can do that.
Okay.
That's the list. I just put the list into chat.
Oh,
so
yeah.
ETH is the next one.
All right. ETH versus what? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill up my beverage. I'll be right back. Actually, you people on YouTube can't see. Oh, I've got International Club of W Lovers on the screen.
And I'm going to look for the sound of a bell. So Derek, what was your favorite topic in level 2? Because like I look at the week's topics and like there's like 3 of them that I have no idea what they even are about. But then like there's like 3 or 4 that I'm really excited for.
I think I was most excited still about GAN, the GAN stuff, but it's just so much information. I mean, it's just I'm still kind of struggling with sort of how to really use it, like get the most use out of it, I guess. But I think it was the most interesting, definitely because it, I guess it uses a lot of the parts of like the universe and how it kind of works and things like that, and tying, astrology and all that stuff in there. So that was kind of very interesting to me.
Yeah, it's one of them I want to keep learning about because like I have a really, really deep like math and geometry and like background, and so it kind of it hits my strengths, or at least past strengths.
You want to see something crazy, guys? Check this out. I'll put it on the screen so everybody on YouTube can see. Derek, when you're ready, this is the Bible of GAN. I don't know whether you can see it or not. I've got the International Brotherhood of W Lovers up above me. Bert's my buddy there. But a student on the site actually sent me this. Look at that. I mean, look how thick that book is. It's bigger than my head. All right, there's about half my head.
What's it called?
It's called The 30-Second Jewel. 30 years behind market charts from price to WD GAN time cycles. By Constance M. Brown, CFT, MFTA. I mean, it's like it's literally, enormous. They call it a tome. Look at that. Hey, does that look familiar, Derek? I don't know if you can see that.
I forget what the cross chart.
I can't see it. Bert, get out of the way. Jeez, Bert keeps getting in the goddamn way. Anyway, let's see if I can turn Bert off here. How do I do that? Because this is just sick. You guys are mentioning WD GAN. The only problem is how the hell do you there, actually, you can see I'm moving, right? Look at all the walls are bare and everything. Oh, it's so depressing. But check that out. All right, there. What is that? Derek, you should know what that is. That was on the final exam. The what is that? Anyway, WD GAN. That's the octagon. Put the book in the chat. I can't put the book in the chat. It's too big.
Is that the square of 9 chart?
No, this is the octagon. So, and actually, remember, we put out a PDF. I don't think I actually quizzed you on the octagon on the final exam because it's just too advanced.
Yeah, I thought that was.
But anyway, it's kind of, you guys were talking about GAN. I just wanted to show you that Bible somebody bought me on the site. Can you believe that? I mean, how many pages is this? It's insane how many pages this is. Just bear with me here. 1,056 pages. Oh God! How the hell am I gonna get through that? So be thankful I didn't make this required reading for the GAN module, and you only had to do GAN's 32-page thesis. Anyway. Sorry to interrupt there. You guys were having actually a cool conversation there. Somebody bought me that book. A fellow trader, a site member, bought me the book, and the book is actually extremely rare, and it's quite valuable. It was definitely a really, really nice gift by that person, and they know who they are. Thank you so much. Anyway, the Benner. That Benner chart that I showed you guys, Right? Literally, page like 5 of that book, they go into the Benner chart. So that just shows how deep these guys are. Super, super awesome. The whole history of capitalism in like the 19th century and stuff. So, all right. Did we figure out what we're gonna look at next?
I think it was ETH.
Yes, ETH versus what? For what?
USD.
All right. And on what exchange?
Any of them that'll have history.
You know, like this is what really surprised me about these is if we go ETH right versus BTC, then you go on to Binance, which is the most popular exchange, and you see, oh yeah, okay, today it traded. Oh, does it have a volume here? Well, anyway, what's this say? And it is just the start of a new day. Let's go yesterday. 101,000 whatevers. And then you go ETH, BTC, over on Trex, and it's 1,400. So we probably ought to make sure that we're studying it on the most, active exchange.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that would be Coinbase or whether it would be Binance, and do we want to look at it versus USD or versus BTC?
I feel like most people enjoy it versus USD. Although ETH is the one that they do like doing with versus BTC sometimes to be able to tell if it's going to be more of an alt season time or a Bitcoin season time.
Yeah, there is that.
Our original chart was done on Bitstamp, Ethereum, US dollar on Bitstamp. Yeah, I know they have a lot of history over there too. So that's probably.
Yeah, that's also another thing is I really like those charts that go back forever. Gee, I got everything but. Where was Stamp? Stamp, right at the top of the list. Okay. Okay, so what do you see here? Hopefully everybody looks at this and sees a failure in a reload zone. I mean, that should stand out pretty well to you, everybody. So, I was pretty lucky here in that I don't often stick my neck in the noose. I don't really like to stick my neck in the noose. I mean, there's nothing to gain by it other than, you get people who become like sort of obsessed and tell us what to do, and that never ends well. Never, ever ends well. Market will always spin, and you may be right like 9 times out of 10, but the one time that you're wrong, you have a whole bunch of people go in hard. They sue, and they might even put you right out of business for one wrong trade. It happens all the time in the stock market. So it's a bit surprising, actually, that we have been able to get away with it in the crypto market for as long as we have. But I do believe Mr. Gessler is going to have a conversation with people like that. Man, what was that German guy's name? He was just over the top shilling. It was insane. And making just the most craziest predictions and sort of, hey, everybody, you're going to get rich. This is the biggest thing that's happened since yesterday. I don't even really hear him too much on the social media too much anymore. So I don't know what happened to him.
You mean Da Vinci's friend? The guy that
the German
guy always do stuff with?
MM Crypto.
Yeah.
Are they still going over the top?
So I think YouTube has been kind of, I think it's the second time they've deleted his account or suspended his account. And I think it's just over crypto stuff. I don't think he's done anything wrong per se. I don't know, maybe he has, but I saw on Twitter the other day that it was deleted again. So I'm not sure if he got it back or not.
Okay. I mean, frankly speaking, I think it's a bit irresponsible. Anybody in this space, and of course, this is where I get the downvotes. This is where, you don't see a lot of viewers. We don't have a lot of subscribers because I'm not going to fucking pump hot air up your ass. I mean, making money from trading is hard work. It's not easy. And then, when everybody gets rocking and rolling to bullish to the upside, of course, it's really easy to go, oh, yeah, buy, you'll make money. And then, maybe the first half a dozen times that works great, and you just look like you walk on water. And then all of a sudden, boom, one time it doesn't work, and you look like a total idiot. They had in the 1920s, there was a famous astrologer who was calling the stock market. Her name was, I can't remember what her name was. Madame Lizette or something like that. Can't remember. I'll find it for you. Ask me on the site later on. Very famous. She was bullish right into that 29 peak, and literally within a year or two she died because of the weight of her, basically all the people bitching at her was just too much for her. So don't, really, it's not even really in your interest to put yourself into that kind of position. It's just not worth it. So what I'm just going to simply say is slow and steady wins the race. Try and buy W's. And if we start moving away from W's, for God's sakes, don't start thinking, well, the technical analysis doesn't matter. This market just keeps moving up and it will never come back down. Don't get sucked into that trap. One thing I will say about this particular asset, and I think that's exactly what this was, it just kept going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And unfortunately, you really didn't know exactly when this was going to break. I mean, it all broke around the Coinbase IPO, which to me says that pretty much what Coinbase IPO was just a big Wall Street pump and then dump. But one thing I do know, that if markets do kind of make these V-tops and come screaming back down, and it's like a straight line drop, you often get a really kick-ass trade right out of that 61.8 tag. And I said that I believe that this was going to be, if this scenario played out and we got the tag of the 61.8, it was going to be your buying opportunity of a lifetime. Don't say those kind of things very often, and frankly speaking, even saying that about this really is a bit irresponsible of me. Having said that, trade worked, thank heavens. Was filled. More importantly, for a guy like me, the asset doubled in price up into this area from where I bought it, sold half on a double. Now, I don't care. This thing could go to zero as far as I'm concerned. I'm scot-free. My moral dilemma is over. I've got free coins. I got my original cash back in my hands. I don't give a shit what happens now. Having said that, I like this story. I think Mr. Vitalik's supercomputer is the future. The only problem is that has price maybe risen a little too far too fast? I think so. And interestingly enough, actually, this makes a really interesting bullish harmonic pattern. But the bullish harmonic pattern actually develops when we go down here. It's not a head and shoulders. Where is it? Boom. Well, we'll do the first. The bearish harmonic pattern, believe it or not, actually looks something like that. And that is bearish. But I do believe, and I can't see it, Steven would be much better at this than I would, but something along these lines, that line, that line. This line here actually sets up an interesting pivot. But that's just a mess, so I'm going to take that off. What I'm going to say, just for the time being, is... come on, you. There we are. I do like that this was actually a pretty natural failure level. That doesn't look out of the normal to me. It actually looks pretty normal. I did like the idea that this was a head and shoulders pattern. Sort of like boom, just ballpark it. Boom, 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 roughly, right? Something along those lines. Exactly which low you're going to use, obviously that's open to interpretation. Kind of thinking that kind of head and shoulders-y kind of action here. David O, he would probably be our resident expert on the site to chime in on that. But having said that, if this is the case, then just as I did the inverted head and shoulders going up earlier on that Algorand, well, we can do the exact same logic going down now on this ETH. So I can't tell exactly where the neckline is, but if it is this, bear with me here.
Ding.
Then we probably want to see a move down into these levels down here, basically testing the original low. And then I'll also just add in here, oh, what a coincidence, that's going to take us right down into reload zones, right down into this area here. So that's what I would be thinking about ETH. Keep a close eye on, maybe right around a couple grand. And this also lines up nicely with that Silk Road Q reversal low kind of thinking as well. So that would be my target here in the short term. Let's say like $2,100. All right. I don't know. Do we want to save that chart? Do we want to just move on to the next one?
We could probably move on.
Okay. What time is it? You guys having fun here tonight? How about you guys over on YouTube? Are you guys having fun? Whoa, in his last video, he's saying he lost $2.3 million. Ouch. That hurts. Well, I mean, you know, Brian, I don't really like to take big bets. So as a result, I'm never really going to show those kind of wins or losses. And man, if I lost that kind of money on a trade, I don't know, man. I think I'd be sick to my stomach at least. Okay, what's next, Derek? Where are you going? Is your family calling you there?
Yeah, just for a second. I think we're good, though.
All right.
We'll see.
All right, Nick told me the last one. Where do you want to go?
Let's see. I thought we had put a list in for
Yeah, tell me what to do.
what's next on the list, Nick?
Axie Infinity.
Yeah, I know somebody was asking about that in the chat.
All right, what's the symbol?
AXS.
Isn't this the one that Julian's playing his little video games and stuff off of?
It is a play to earn game, yes.
Where should we look at this?
Tether on Binance is fun.
Tether on Binance. All right. Yeah, it's awfully tough to justify chasing that, eh?
Yeah, I was looking for a bearish bot to set up there before this last dump.
Yeah, I could see that. The only, I'll just caution you with that, Nick, is, well, I mean, what we want to see is at least 33% pullback. So did we get that?
Yeah, I think I'm around 40.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Probably that would be kind of like the Algorand. I think that would probably set up off a lower time frame chart.
Maybe.
So you can see 1, 2, 3, lots of highs there. Look at that, 4 different highs there. So, yeah, I mean, I could see it. This is going to be like your traders, though. So, you know, if you like sleep, then you're probably not going to want to entertain this idea. Yeah. I mean, isn't it incredible how you see this? How the market literally sets this range up here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's incredible how often you see that. You could have also, too, looked at this range, said it's a confirmed M, and this would be really cheeky, like super pro trader, kind of like what we were showing on the Algorand before, right?
Reload zone.
Yeah, so you know that's a pretty damn big range, and you're like, Brian, you want me to short at 62, but I got to risk all the way up to 72? Good God, that's a ton of money. what I'll do is I like your bot idea, but I'm going to wait for the market to jump back up into reload zones. And then I'm just going to try and sneak in the trade on any kind of failure up around the top end of the range. So up against all these highs. Do you want to, this is uglier than sin, don't get me wrong. But inside bar failures, there's a fractal top. This is this is interesting because Derek will tell you that this is actually a harmonic. What harmonic pattern is this, Derek? Let's see if he's really slick on his harmonics yet.
I don't think I got that far yet.
Okay. This is
let's say it's a bat. A garden.
No, not bat. Does that look like any kind of animal, right? And think of that thing that's got that big claw. Crab. Anyway, that's what I was saying. So it'd be interesting to see the harmonics guys. I think they would call that a crab. So like what I see here is a cute little doji spinning top up here. You can see the bears have woken up. Where did the bulls kind of just vanished it here? Vanished it. So maybe if you had a nice little momentum divergence, maybe let's see. I gotta find the template. I don't even know where the hell it is. Summer 21, I think that's what it was. Yeah, look at that. So can you see the divergence in Willie? So we make higher highs, lower highs. Divergence in RSI. Didn't give that volume divergence, but look at that really nice little top there in OBV. Boom, 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 fail. So up in the reload zone, if you're like, well, Brian, I'm going to sharpshoot this, and actually, Nick, you're going to learn this. This is a value range here when we look at the profile. So that's actually a very well-defined range on the profile, and moves above value high. We have this guy Johnny Hoagland. You'll learn about this. Actually, he was my old boss years ago. And we have this icon for him. And the Hoag value trade, and it's called the 80% trade, is if we fail above value high. So you can see the market wanted to go above value here. It was rejected and it pushed back down. So, and let's just see if Derek knows the answer. About how often are we going to actually have to trade right back down to value low? You see how we traded right down to there, value low?
I think that's 80% of the time.
80%. 80% is 80% is 80%. Us as traders, remember we had said earlier, I don't know whether we were recording or not, but we said, do you want to take a trade that's like 50% odds working in your favor? No. 50%, that's a coin toss. Fuck, I might as well go to the horse track. Do they still have horse tracks? I don't know. I can't even remember hearing anybody talk about the horse track these days anymore, eh?
Yeah, we've got one back in Minnesota.
Yeah. Wow, in the middle of December, that would be crazy.
Well, we don't do too much of it in the
winter. Now I want to see. Now that would be a horse. You gotta have respect for that horse. All right. So anyway, point here is 80% trade. Johnny Hoagland. This is his bread and butter. As a futures trader, he would short moves above value, looking to cover on a move back below value. 80% of the time that happens. So you want to put that in your pipe and smoke it? There you go. If you want a couple 80% rules with, how often we say gaps get filled in? 90+%? Those are the kind of edges that I want to see you guys work, right? I want to see you hunting setups where the statistical odds of you succeeding are in excess of what number? What's the magic number that I'm shooting for, boys?
I was going to say 60%.
Yeah, I think we can go as high as 66. It is interesting that just to break even at that 2-to-1, we only need 33. So you tell me, if we're batting 66% and we're getting paid $2 on our winning trades and losing $1 on our losing trades, how are we doing on our balance sheet? Are we making money?
On average, you're making $1 a trade.
You're making a lot of money. Trust me.
Well, I'm saying you're making one risk per trade, whatever your R is.
So, I don't know whether we need to talk too much more about this in here. What I would just simply say is, I think you're right. There was a really cool bearish bot that fired here. If I was trading the bearish bot, move stop to a scratch, gets hit at this level. So that's 52.98. Then move stop to trailing. Did we hit that level? Nope, we have not hit that level yet. So interestingly enough, hate to say it, but I think this is a really good example where I think you got stopped out at scratch on this short setup. Right? And you know, it's just a trader's life. This is probably the hardest thing that most new people to trading just don't get. Is you actually, you know, if you are a quote-unquote trader, you know, investors, little old lady banging out doubles, those kind of things, you know, you really don't have to do a lot of activity because you're not taking huge risk on any one trade. You just force yourself to buy in the bottom end range and just sit there and do nothing. If you're going to quote-unquote trade, and that means you're taking a little bit more risk, maybe even using some leverage, which means that if your setups are broken, you got to get the fuck out of there. You just don't have any choice. And actually, Nick, I think you said you've been following along the battle stations, the day traders room on TRI a bit lately?
Lately, yeah.
Right. So what you're going to see, and anybody on the site, of course, who's following along, what you're going to see is I took a couple points, got stopped out at scratch on the trailer. I took a few points here, got stopped out on a little pop against us. And then the other day, did you see Kiran? He had a gold trade on. He actually took it off at scratch, but he was saying that if he had just left it alone and done nothing, it would have been up like 5-10 G's. And that's usually how a trader's life goes. Is 9 times out of 10, you're going to make maybe a couple bucks. Like in this example, you just got stopped out at scratch. Big fucking deal. You didn't actually make any money. Or maybe, what I like to do with the bot is I like to try and front run the bot. So maybe I got short a little bit higher here so that if I do have to get stopped out at scratch, the 25 level, I actually still make a couple bucks. But the point being that actually this is more the norm than the exception. Then when the market does just go screaming straight down into profit objectives and you get your win, that only really, especially this one, because this is like a 3-to-1 risk reward, that only happens maybe like 20-30% of the time. Most of the time you're getting stopped at scratch or you're having to trail your stops and you get stopped out with a nice little profit. Maybe 1-to-1, 2-to-1, that kind of thing. Then every once in a while, you get one that just straight to your target. Way to go, 3-to-1, Merry Christmas. And then, like I said, with the day traders, if you can just get that runner on, and that's where you really make the big money day trading, is if you can get that runner on and just leave it. Put your stop at scratch. In fact, actually, we'll talk to you, Johnny Hoagland, who used to tell us about trades where, let's say like the opening range, the market goes zipping up, but then craps out. And if he's selling above value, the opening range, the market jumps up, he shorts, then the market tops out and it goes the other direction the entire day. And he used to tell us stories about him covering his shorts on the closing bell at the day lows. I mean, just monster trades, that make like 10-20 G's in one trade. So, this is probably it's probably, this isn't glamorous. This is, journeyman, fucking in the trenches, day in, day out, just working your profession. But this is probably a really, really good example of a trade that technically, I mean, it was looking perfect. And then it just stopped working. And you had to walk away and just say, well, next bus in 10 minutes. Big fucking deal. So, I don't know. Does that kind of help at all? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and at least getting able to move it to scratch is better than taking an L.
That's right.
So.
You know, half of this battle is just making sure you can come back and fight the game again tomorrow. I suppose one could argue here, just looking at this asset, probably the people that want to short this, they're just itching. They're just looking at this and they're going, oh, God, oh, this thing's got short written all over it. So as a result, it's making it's a pain in the ass, this thing coming down here, eh? Because you look at that chart and, you know, like I looked at this top when I first loaded it and I go, oh, yuck, that's horrible. You know, V-tops, what do we say about V-tops? Does anybody know what we say about V-tops? What should happen here at some point down the road?
They like to get tested?
That's right. So you can see V-top, tested, boom, new high. V-top, tested, boom, new high. V-top, oh, tested. Are you going to M out here? Nope, new high, boom, V-top. Straight down, consolidation, like we said, you know, those sharp traders taking that short. And then the market quickly ratchets back. Probably, you know, if you were short, it's probably a good idea maybe just to hop off and just cool your jets. And, of course, you know, I mean, look at this. This damn thing's V'ing everywhere. V-top, V-bottom, V-bottom. Oh, I mean, this is just, ugh. This is horrible. This has got, somebody is fucking with the market here, right, left, and center. So, you know, honestly, looking at this, ugh. Candle body highs for trade location. What do you think the odds are that if we drew a reload zone off of that range, that's going to be a reload zone right up in there? I'd say probably pretty good. So I would, you know, if you were short off of this setup and you just got stopped at scratch, I'd be like, don't lose focus. All right, just keep your eyes to the ground. Right, that is a key horizontal support and resistance level. This is those closing candle body highs. That was a doji right there. And gee whiz, this is my favorite fib to take a trade off of, 78.6. So you can start to see there's a hell of a case for a half decent trade location right up there at about what, 84.70. I kind of like that thinking. You know, and that would be sort of predicated on the idea that we just go zing straight up here. Believe it or not, what I think is going to happen here is this thing's actually going to make some crazy ass fractal here. Hey, Derek's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
And I think we're going to do something like that. So don't be surprised. There's the fractal. You know, all these crazy V's. And this might push us to new highs. And if it does, well, you know, V-top, like we said, I mean, there's just no structure. If, however, this comes in a little bit muted and we do roll over in reload zones and you start getting sell signals up in here, that would be a killer trade location. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's probably the way I would look at it. If I was thinking long here, unfortunately, like I can't just have one low to risk against. It's just not enough structure for me to even believe that this is a bull. Because right now, this is actually making lower highs and lower lows. That's bearish. So for me to actually turn bullish, kind of like what I showed you with that market symmetry, is what I really would like to see is a succession of higher lows here. And then give me some sort of structure to work with. And of course, if I draw bot setups, then what I really am thinking is 30. It's always backwards lately. I gotta change this setting, so this is driving me crazy. 33%, but no more than 66. All right, so that's okay. And then, like I said, if we start getting the 3 higher lows, then I can start thinking trend continuation. So that means I can think, yeah, well, and actually this would be a good example of me front running the bot. So if we got like 1 low, 2 lows, 3 lows, it started to set up here, it would be okay if I got a nice little double bottom breakout here. I'd be front running the bot a little bit, not a hell of a lot. But here's the case, right? If we go up to move stop to scratch, then we came down to scratch, I would walk away on that event, and actually this would be my profit on the trade. And it wouldn't be much, but it would be enough to cover commissions and that kind of stuff. So if I was bullish, it's got to do quite a bit more work here for me to actually turn back bullish. Right now I would say that, it kind of sucks, and Nick even mentioned this earlier. To all intents and purposes, a lot of these names, they're kind of just stuck in no man's land right now, and probably not a good idea to touch any of this shit right here. Right now, just looking at this, there's no structure to this at all. This is very dangerous, both directions. So,
you want to try to get one more quick one in?
Yeah, well, we could do one slow one too. It's up to you.
So we got 4 options. We have Avax and Dero, which I know both of those are right at all-time highs, so I don't think there's a lot we could really show with those. Outside of maybe some chaos targets, but
oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
You want to just speed run a couple chaos targets here?
Yeah, give me a symbol.
Sure. DERO. I don't even know if. Okay, good. It did show up. It's on Google.
KuCoin. We're heading over to Korean Kimchi Premium. We trading this versus Tether. Better watch out. If you own Tethers and Mr. Gessler shits on Tether, what happens to Tether? I'm not quite sure. So be careful, all you Tether lovers. I have no idea how this is going to play out. But you got Mr. Gessler coming at it, our U.S. security, and you got Powell coming at it. Are you treading on the FOMC and the U.S. dollar's toes here? It's very, very dangerous. But who knows? Well, let's see what happens. So what do you want me? You want me to look at a Tether?
Yeah, Tether was the one that was at all-time high.
Jesus Christ, look at that, eh?
I mean, Bitcoin's probably at all-time, versus Bitcoin's probably also at all-time high.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that, the breakout here was, it's pretty obvious. There you go. So, how can you make any comments about this? I mean, wow, look at that Wyckoff check there, right? Jeez, that's crazy. That's like textbook. So, I suppose you could probably do one off of here. Boomity boom. Then, and then, there. Oh, hello.
Wow. Stuff. Oh, God, I love these chaos targets.
That's kind of interesting, eh? Jeez.
Okay, we're done with that one. Let's check Avax. That was easy. Wait, what's just for shits and giggles? What's the 4669 at?
There you go. 39.
$40.
Yeah.
Okay. So Avax, we need to get one of these.
This, the question here is, do you have confirmed bearish divergences coming in here? Not yet. Oh boy, look at that. Willie's already topped out here. I mean, there's no fucking way in hell I could buy that. There's no way I could buy that. No. The way I would look at this is I would like to be long from down in here. And then you can actually tell exactly where you should be selling. So this is an example. Pretty good looking W's. I mean, fantastic level there. That's the shit. But let's say you were pretty slow, and let's say you got in on this reload zone, and then the W in here. Let's say you got long here. So that's 83 cents. And so where are we now? $21. So basically, what is that? That's 10x, 20x, about 20, 25x. The irony of it all is these things sometimes go like 100x. So maybe that's where the top is. What would 100x be? I guess that would be $80, eh? So that would be, yeah. So you're 877. $73. That would be your 100x. Andrew was telling me there was one or two names on that Avax network that went like 100x recently, eh?
Yeah, Joe went about 100x. Joe's the one that I was tracking that did really well. I mean, a lot of them in that space have done really well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get it on here. You might need to go to ChartX if you want to look at that, but Avax is the next one we were going to look at here.
AVAX.
Yeah, I just want to have you
and
get
so
a chaos.
these guys are, oh boy, look out. And Andrew was telling me, man, anything that's going on this network, it is hotter than poop right now.
It is very hot.
So if you are long, very hard for me to justify buying here, folks. I mean, you should look at that and you should hear me say I can't buy there and go, yeah, that makes sense. Little concerning that momentum here is not making new highs. So I get the feeling we're in the sort of final throes of whatever the hell this move is. Willie is not quite stupid, 21.5. We're getting pretty darn close. You can see what happened the last time Willie got stupid and then we had to pull back. So, I mean, that's not necessarily saying the move is over. And we don't really have any confirmed bear divs here yet. Volume still seems to be very strong, so no signs of the bulls falling asleep yet. If anything, this is a really great analogy. Can you see, guys? There are the bulls, and actually this day right there, that was really important for the bulls. They broke that high there, eh? And that also broke OBV out to new highs. So you can see here to this high. You can even see the market was kind of like, oh my God, are we exhausted? Is this just we've just gone too far? And even the sellers, right? You can even see this day they stepped up, but notice the sellers, they didn't break that high there. You see that? Both of you guys have done volume impetus.
Yep.
So you guys should see this. So that was it. That was an important clue that the bears were not nearly as strong. And then the next day, in come the bulls again, and they push this thing up through the top there. So, no sell signals yet, but so I think I would say that, number one, bears are awake. Everybody's awake. It's not a question of everybody being asleep, right? If you see all the volume bars really low like this, then it's just a question, okay, everybody's gone to sleep and we have to wait for who is it that's going to actually break this damn thing out, the bulls or the bears. Everybody's wide awake here, and there's a war going on, and it looks like the bulls are winning. One high, two highs. You'd have to see a third lower high in the green volume bars, and then actually a bar lower than this one down here to actually issue a signal that the bulls have fallen asleep. So we're nowhere near that. Like I said, the breakout of this high here by this bar right here was super bullish for the bulls. So bulls got the ball. No signs of failure just yet. At the same time, too, awfully nosebleedy. Do we do foggy boggies off of this? I'm almost afraid. Where the hell is this thing going to take us? Oh boy. So we're at $70 right now. And actually, there's still another double there. Jeez. We could probably also do a foggy boggy off of this tight range to give us some short-term objectives. Yeah. So notice 4.669, sort of, think confluence of levels. So I do like the idea that really what this is saying is there's some sort of big fat round number here up at 150 that I think is acting as a magnet. You should see, and this makes sense too. What do we call this kind of number here, right there?
Just a nice round number to maybe reverse that or get some resistance, or what are you looking for?
Well, you got You got 3 of the letters right. You just missed the other one. All right, because I go, it's a BFRN. What do you think BFRN stands for? I would call this a BFRN. What does BFRN? Like I said, you got 3 out of the 4 letters right.
Resistance?
B as in Bob.
B. Brian.
I'm lost on this one.
Brian's got a pretty big fat butt, but no, not Brian.
Oh, big! You said big fat round number, right?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
Great. Look, I'm talking another language with these people. I mean, have you ever heard me use that expression before, Nick? Big fat round number?
Yeah.
All right, so markets love big fat round numbers. Is $100 here got a big magnet on it? I kind of think so. Also say too, actually, profile doesn't look too bad. This is actually a really good example of the market is trying to accept above value. What happens when the market does accept above value? I wonder. Does anybody know?
I don't learn about this for like 5 more weeks.
Yeah. you get the easy scapegoat, Derek. What happens when the market accepts above value? Well said, Waleed. Nice, Elijah. Elijah did it in four posts. Big, fat, round number. So, Derek, what do you think is going to happen here if we accept above value?
I don't know.
What's the crypto kid's favorite word?
Oh, you going to the moon or something? You gonna?
Yeah, but it's not moon. It's moon.
Oh, the moon.
Right? And I suppose this would be moon, eh? Woohoo! So my hunch is it probably does. I mean, who knows? This will be an interesting experiment. What should happen here is the market should hit that big fat round number. It should come back and do a Benkoff check, and then it should head up and it should test value high and find out whether it really wants to be above value. And then if it really does, we want to go up and tag Ben. And then, ironically enough, we'll tag Ben. Then we'll come back. We'll check 2.618. And then we'll head up to the next objective, wherever the hell that is. So I don't know, Derek, or actually Nick, I think you asked me to look at this. What do you think? Does that help you?
Yeah, I mean, I think whoever was asking for it, I knew wouldn't be able to give too much, like, should I buy here? Because that answer is obviously going to be no.
Yeah, I mean, here's the kick in the pants, guys. And I do see somebody else on YouTube page ask this. And my apologies, Nick. I've had a couple glasses of wine, so I'm a little loose-lipped here. But there's your buy right there. You should be long from $14. So this is where we get into. Are you a professional trader? I mean, gee whiz, look at this goddamn setup, people. This is like textbook. It's everything that I teach in the course. You want to learn this stuff and be able to apply it on a daily basis, get into the goddamn course. And it's why I did this. Can you see that? I mean, reload zones. Our rule is, and let's see. I mean, who should we ask? Guys, Nick just came out of the level 1, so we couldn't ask Ben just yet. But, Nick, what's our general rule about buying? Especially if we're like a little old lady. What's the rule?
You want to wait till you're at least in a reload zone and then maybe start nibbling a little bit at the lows there?
That's right. At or below reload zone. And you guys, we've been working together, 13, 14 weeks. Have you heard me tell you guys that quite often what ends up happening is these goddamn markets, they actually pivot right off that 78.6. Can you see that double bottom right off the 78.6? I mean, that is your level. That is solid gold. Take a screenshot of that. Print it out, put it on your desk, put it on your wall right beside your desk, and say, I only buy stuff when it looks like this. You do that, you're going to do yourself a world of favors, and you're going to eliminate a lot of losing trades. You probably make a pile of money too while you're at it. So, there's the buy, $14. Up here at, what is this? 70 whatever, 75, 74, 75. I can't touch it. Just do. Sorry, just can't do it.
This one is going to be an interesting test case here, though, because it's got some really unique fundamentals. There's already been a couple $2 billion moved over there, and there's going to be more for this incentive program, like with Aave coming over and Curve coming over, Sushi coming over. There's probably going to be another couple billion brought over in the next few weeks. So it'll be interesting just to see what that actually might do for the ecosystem. Well, I'm not saying it'll make it go up.
Like we said, these markets, they love to go like 10x, 100x off these lows, right? You can see exactly where the bottom is. So what, 10x would be 140? Yeah, what a surprise.
Almost at your 150.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's basically there. So 10x off of the lows? Ironically enough, that's actually pretty par for the course with crypto. So call it moon, call it whatever. The crypto kids, they're going to be over the top if this happens, right? That crypto Cobain guy, he's just going to be insufferable. Oh, I can already see it. I can already see it. But oh well. So too late to buy. Wait, probably maybe even a little bit too early to sell, to be honest with you. I always think it's a good idea. Sell half on a double, get yourself in a risk-free trade. It's just good business. So maybe you bought a whack of it here at 14. You let a whack of it go at like 20, 30 bucks. Testing of these old highs. You didn't know what's going to happen. But once you're here, who cares what happens next? I mean, yeah, the most recent sell half on a double was basically a rally up into this $60 area. So, I mean, it does make sense. Breaking new highs. Let's let them have some more. But I don't, if I was long this name and from here and I'd already gotten a double off, there's really no hurry to sell anymore. Just kick back and enjoy the ride. See where the hell this thing takes you. Here's a really important lesson. I don't know how many people are watching this. I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but for God's sakes, whoever is writing this or watching this, write this down. First and foremost, why the fuck are you doing this? If you're doing this to quote-unquote get rich from trading, what you really have to do is you have to put yourself into a position where the market can make you rich. This is a situation where there will be a lot of people that will go into the business of calling tops here. And they might have had a killer trade here, and they will subconsciously be constantly worried about this thing failing, and they will actually exit this trade. They will call tops on this thing, and yet the son of a bitch might go all the way up here to 260. You don't know. Don't be in the position. Don't go into the business of predicting the future. That's not what we're here to do. But put yourself into a position that if this does happen, you get fucking paid. Excuse my French. Now you can really tell I've had a couple glasses of wine. I mean, does that make sense what I'm saying, boys?
Yes. Yeah, and that's one reason I've kind of liked more of the little old lady approach and selling that first half on a double so you get the free bag. As long as if you can get as many of your free bags as you can, who knows, one or two of those might go crazy.
I bought officially for everyone, Doge is officially a buy below 40 sats. Somebody want to tell me how many sats Doge is trading at right now? Is Doge a buy right now? Remember, the rule is Doge is a buy below 40 sats. I can help you out. I watch Doge on a daily basis. Doge right now is 511 sats. So if you don't, this is a perfect example where we were loading up the boat. I still got like 50 fucking grand of Doge. I don't know what that. I've already sold a ton of this. I still got a shitload of this damn crap. But there's no reason why your Aave couldn't do that. Right? Or what were we just looking at? AVAX or whatever the hell it was?
Yeah, Avax.
Now, would it have been in your best interest to call a top right here? Oh, Jesus, you see it go all the way up here. God damn.
No, you call it as soon as Elon's going to go on SNL. That's when you call it.
Well, hopefully you learned a really, really good lesson there. I thought the guy's name was Alan. I didn't realize his name is Elan?
Alan.
Is that what it is?
Yep, Alan. My bad.
I'm just kidding. You could call him any fucking thing you want. I don't care. Don't call him a advisor that's working on your best interest. That's the last thing that you can call Alan. Alan is not working in your best interests. If he was, all through here, he would have said, don't touch this thing. It's not in your best interest as an investor, and, hindsight's 20/20. Clearly, that was right. But you're absolutely right, Nick. That should have been a really, really good life lesson for all of you. I mean, I've been through this game 100 times. I've seen Allen's do what Allen did there in the spring. I've seen that before. It's not new. It's tragic how cliche it was, but it's not new. And yes, absolutely. As soon as he winked at the camera and said that, because they kept saying, well, what is Doge? Well, what is Doge? What is Doge? What is Doge? I think, is it money? Is it money? Is it money? And then at the very end, he winked and goes, no, it's not money. It's just a con. Literally, that was the end of the story. And it's gone nothing but down since. So it's tragic, really. Because I remember there was this one black guy on YouTube every single day. La, 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 la. Do you remember that guy? La, 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 la. He would go on. La, 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 la. Diamond hands. La, 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 la. He would say 3 or 4 sentences. Like, oh, Alan's going to be on SNL. La, 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 la. La 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 la, and it was the weirdest thing. It was like, I got the impression it was like he was told to be as bizarre and as weird as possible, because that will distract people from actually making rational decisions about their money that they're investing in. La 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 la. Whatever the fuck that means. And I don't know how people actually justify investing their money listening to a guy talk like that. It's so bizarre. Drives you crazy. Anyway. Okay, rant. You guys having funny? I'm getting a little juiced up here, so now the lips are really wagging here. I should probably shut the hell up, eh?
No, it's good. It's Brian, I was gonna say like unplugged or something, but I feel like it's like
just I've been pretty good with the swears tonight. You got me going with Algo. Algo pissed me off. But on balance, I think we've had a pretty good time here tonight. What do you think, guys? Have you enjoyed the show?
It's been fun.
Derek, you're back looking sullen again. I don't know what to do with you.
He's thinking about all the fun he had tonight.
Okay, maybe he can't hear us. I don't know.
He's just on mute.
Yeah, so. Can you hear me?
Hey, there you are. You back?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's kind of funky tonight.
All right. Well, we're actually quite a bit past 8 o'clock here. That's what happens. I get a couple glasses of wine in me. I just blab on endlessly. Shall we call it a night?
I can.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's call it. I can save the couple that we didn't get to for next week. So if we do, I'm gonna think about maybe a theme for next week. But if not, and we do more viewer stuff, we can start with XRP and Avax.
Cool. I do like the idea, honestly. Like, we have one guy on the site, Farmer Dave, who's kind of public speaking a little bit about DeFi. I mean, I think he's just making so much fucking money from trading, he doesn't really care about public speaking, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Would love to have Farmer Dave come on, but I got a funny feeling, Nick, I think you're going to be like TRI's kind of DeFi guy here going forward. So the more you wrap your sort of arms around that space and really get to learn it and are a help for the community to understand who's leading and who's lagging and, you know, all that kind of stuff, I'd love that. You know.
I'll say I will be until they ban stable coins. Then DeFi is dead for a while, but...
Well,
DeFi doesn't exist without it.
Well, 2022. I believe 2022 is going to look almost identical to 2014 and 2018. So I don't know whether either of you two were even interested in cryptocurrencies then. So this should be a real education for you. Just make sure you square yourself up. If we do get our crazy ass bull market, I mean, the irony of dog money here is, can you see how dog money itself is even setting up that at some point down the road we are going to come back up and test this area up here, right? So you know, this is kind of that end of the year rally. I am fully expecting across the altcoins, and you know, in this kind of environment, I think Bitcoin goes absolutely nuts. So let's go and make a bunch of money into the end of the year. But let's also be cognizant, kind of like that Benner chart that I keep showing you guys. Let's be cognizant that 22, 23 could be a bit of a slog here, right?
That is another reason, though, that I'm paper trading all those bearish bots. To try to start
get good at that.
Getting good at that too, because I figure that is coming sooner rather than later.
And if you can't, you know, they always say, right, in a bull market, everybody makes money. In a bear market, nobody makes money. And it's because it's incredibly psychologically debilitating to be short and to work short setups when everybody around you hates your guts. And you say, well, you know, I'm thinking the market's moving lower, and they're all like, fuck you. You know, it's tough. That's a tough profession, Nick. So just be forewarned ahead of time. But, you know, I got lots of time to work with you. We'll turn you into a great shorter if you want to be one. You know. But you're going to definitely have to tune out the social media, tune out all the idiots on YouTube and stuff like that, including myself, and just stick to your plan and just focus. So, but we'll see how we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody, why don't we leave it at that? Hope you enjoyed this. Wish me luck on my move. I'm actually right in the middle of a move here. Good. So I'm going to actually hang up from this call and go back. Wonderful. Have yourselves a great night. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, all my level 3ers, for your patience. Actually, Derek, you got an extra week, right? Yeah, I suppose. I don't know whether you saw that. But did you get in and hang out with Zach today? Zach was talking fundamentals today, which I thought was really cool. So I think somebody recorded that. So you actually got a little bit of an extra treat there today. Not hearing anything from Derek, so I get the impression that he didn't.
I feel like he might have dropped again. His video.
Oh yeah, his screen froze. Okay. All right. Why don't we leave it at that? I guess Derek's off the hook, sir. Nick, if you don't mind, you're going to take us out of here tonight.
Sounds good.
The only thing left for good old TRI to say at this point is
bye for now.